Hey there, my name's Larissa with Divine Ascension Healing. This is a channeled message for the lovesick. This is a message for those that might be going through some sort of heartbreak right now, whether you're in separation with your person. Whatever applies, take what resonates and leaves what doesn't. The first thing that I'm seeing is a person looking at you with almost like they feel bad for you. And the feeling that I'm getting from your energy is like, not wanting them to look at you like this, not wanting them to look at you with this like sorrow, like they feel bad for you. I wouldn't even say that it's necessarily empathy. It's more along the lines of like sympathy, like they feel bad for you. And this it feels awful. You you almost keep replaying that look. I want to say that this was a conversation that you guys last had face to face. And there's also something that they said. It's something along the lines of like you should really take this time to focus on yourself. And it keeps replaying in your head, and it's almost like just a thing that makes you cry harder. This you should focus on yourself. Like take this time, and because that's not what you want to do. You want this person. You want what this relationship promised you. I'm getting that the relationship ended. It's funny because, I'm hearing from spirit that they ended the relationship, but it really should have been you. But you don't see that yet, is what spirit's saying. It almost feels like it ended because of your requests to have your needs met. I see you, and it's so timidly coming to this person, and you've been doing it for some time, and just saying things like, "Hey, babe, like, can you touch me more?" Or, "Hey, babe, do you want to do something instead of just hanging around the house?" Or, "Hey, babe, you know, could you please help me with this a little bit more?" And it's almost like that's built up in the relationship, and this person wants out. They want to get off the ride. And I can feel how devastated you are. I can feel how painful this is. I can feel like a ball of pain that's in your chest, right around your heart chakra, and it feels like it's choking you. And I I can feel how unfair you feel like it is that you have to continue on moving and like going to work and taking care of your duties as an adult. Like I can feel how it just feels like such a betrayal from the universe. Like, not only did you take my person from me, but I still have to live. And for a lot of you, I hate to say this, but it doesn't feel like you want to. I'm going to pull an oracle card just so I can get a little bit of themes here. I got the balance card, which tells me that the extent of the heartbreak that you're feeling is a result of the lack of balance that there was in the relationship. Like you feel so off kilter right now. It feels like this relationship ending was so abrupt. Like I can, and looking at it from the outside, and I can tell you that it was breaking down for such a long time. But you were trying. You were still accepting. You were you were putting all the effort that you could in to try to make this work. And what I'm getting from this situation is though is that they weren't. I think there's a part of you. I feel like some cognitive dissonance going on right now because I think that there's part of you that like knows that this wasn't like the fairy tale that you would have wanted, but felt like you needed to compromise that because you don't think it's possible. Which that really makes me sad to say. I feel like I'm getting that you spent a lot of time trying to figure out how you can adjust to get different output in the relationship. I could see you being like, okay, well, if he doesn't do this, and I'm not going to say he because it could be a she, but if they don't do this, then if I do that, maybe they'll start doing this. You were very strategic in trying to get rid of, because what's interesting about this feeling in your chest that you felt a kernel of that the entire time. Like, this feeling isn't foreign. This feeling has been there for a while. And I think that you pushed it aside a lot. I think that there were times, even at the beginning of the relationship, where you got that feeling and you pushed past it because they're so good looking. And this looks exactly how you wanted it to look. And now that kernel has grown into something that has taken over your life completely. I can see you trying to do mundane things like the dishes or walking your dog or doing things to try to distract yourself from the pain, but it seeps through. It's all over you. And you're hiding from people that you love because you don't want them to see how devastated you are. And for some of you, I sense that it's been a bit, like we're talking a month or two, and you're almost ashamed at how destroyed you are. And what I get for some of you is that you're not even talking to this person. This person's not in communication. They just went no contact. And that hurts even more because for some of you, this is a longer relationship. So you're almost perplexed at they could how they could stop talking to you after all that time, just like nothing. I sense that the person that broke up with you was very prepared for this. Like, it came out of nowhere in the sense of you knowing, but it's almost like they were prepared and they got out and had a plan, and it was cut, and that was it. And that is what's boggling to me. It's like you're barely able to catch your breath. You're barely able to catch your breath. And you feel like the people in your life, like the people that care about you, that do call and check up on you, and it's almost become annoying because you know that they're trying to seek out if you're okay, but you want to be in solitude with your not being okay. Mm, mm. Spirit's showing me moments in the relationship where you were with that person and that little kernel of pain that I was talking about that's in your chest, that you were feeling it and pushing it down and trying to ignore it. And I can see you looking at your person and wondering if they see it, wondering if they care that that's there, wondering if that pain being there is motivation enough for them to do something different. That's how you feel. This is what's going on. And as much as I love you guys, I'm not here to be rainbows and butterflies, but I can give you a solution. The first thing in that regard that the universe is showing me is that this is a pattern. The pain that you feel right now has a flavor, and it's a flavor that you've tasted so many times. You just put a different face on it. Started with your parents. Think about it. The feeling that you feel right now, give it a color, give it a flavor, give it a texture, and then look back on your life and see when you felt that before. It's been at some pivotal moments in your life, and though I do believe that this one hurts the most, or it's the freshest, right? Depends on who you ask. You felt this before. Let's talk about the law of attraction. And I think a lot of people spin it a bunch of different ways, but we think Most people think that if I say the affirmations, if I tell myself over and over and over again that this is what I want, that's manifestation. I'm here to tell you guys right now. Hell no, that's not what it is. True manifestation, the law of attraction, is about resonance. We attract where we are. Now, with that being said, as above, so below, I'm gonna give you guys a cold hard truth, and it's not gonna feel good, but in living in truth is how we're able to change, is how we're able to move timelines in our vibration to match that of what we truly desire, right? You attracted that person, a person that's not, doesn't show up, that doesn't see you, that isn't willing to do the things necessary on their end to upkeep a relationship. They're just like you. They're the exact mirror of you. Though you don't do that to other people, just yourself. So if you betray yourself, ignored that kernel of pain that you were feeling very early on, the red flags, that means that you attract that. I can hear you saying it right now. Well, when I was single, I was on my bag, I was taking care of business. Yeah, when you were single. You're often not tested in matters of the relationship and of a relationship when you're single. Nor can you address some of those wounds single. I also can hear some of you saying, why the hell would my higher self, would the universe put me through this? Good question. This one was a hard concept, I think, to accept in doing past life regression hypnotism. When you see it over and over again, there is no other truth. Very much like a human that starts as a baby, moves on into adolescence, teenage years, young adult, middle aged, elderly, has this a soul. And in the next statement that I'm going to make, I think this is where we truly take implicit accountability in that you, as a soul, chose all of this. Because, like a human that grows from a baby to an elderly person, so does the soul. And part of the way that we do this is living lives, right? And if in a human life we go to sleep every night and we have a dream, your life is but a dream. So if you plan this, don't you think that there's more than the pain that you're feeling right now? Don't you think that there's a strong potential that there's so much more than you can even imagine from the pain that you're feeling, that you had to go through the pain to even be able to grasp that, to even be able to hold that? If you ask yourself the question, could I handle if somebody that knew how to love me, listened when I spoke, did things without asking, what would you honestly say? Do you think you can handle it? Because the thing is that person has a life. Spirit saying yes. That person has a life that's not going to revolve around you. They're whole on their own. They don't need this relationship. They would choose it. They'd choose you. They wouldn't need you to show up in any way other than as you are. guess what? You don't even feel that way about yourself. And again, this is the law of correspondence. They all live together. It's beautiful. The law of correspondence is as simple as above, so below, right? And what's beautiful about the law of correspondence is you have your higher self, you, right? Your soul, co-conspiring behind the scenes, sending you situations, lessons, so that you can understand what the higher self understands in your human form. So what does that mean? Your soul decided that it wanted to come here and master attachment. Okay? So it said, I am going to put them through a childhood that teaches them that they're not lovable, that teaches them in order to be loved, you have to self sacrifice, that teaches you that if you don't abandon yourself, no one will ever stay. And I'm going to put them through relationships over and over again until they learn that that was never outside of them, that they had the control the entire time. But the only way you were going to learn is by going through it. It would be like studying to be a doctor. Everybody says, "Oh, I want to have high vibes," right? You know, I want to know shit, right? Well, the way you know things is to experience it. It would be like studying to be a doctor and never touching a body. It would be like studying dance moves and never dancing, or studying music and never playing. You have to experience this stuff to master it. And the beautiful thing about the universe is that we all do have free will. And the decisions that we make, you can totally build a life set to teach you certain things and choose not to learn them. You can go around on the merry-go-round as long as you want to until you decide that you're ready to progress and experience something different. The universe, your soul, is giving you that opportunity through this. So how, right? How do you move through this pain? How do you move through the fact that they left again? Well, it's just that for some of you, for a lot of you, I see yourself feeling the pain and asking yourself when it's going to be over, but not, I said feeling the pain, but not feeling the pain. The beautiful thing about pain and why it's such a great teacher on our soul path is that it burns away what isn't true when we truly allow for ourselves to feel it. I'm going to do an exercise with you guys here in a little bit, after I kind of talk around this point so that we're all on the same page. It's almost like I can see you distracting yourself. Like, this pain will come up, and yes, you'll cry. But there is a hesitance and a fear of going too deeply into it. A lot of people are scared of pain. I mean, because even though emotional pain doesn't have bruises, we think, I mean, it does, right? And I can see, I can see some of the venting, but I can also see the hiding, wanting to hide it. For some of you, it's been a couple months, and you don't want the people that love you to know how much you're still hurting. You don't want to be crying at work. You don't want your kids to see how polarized you are by this. And it's in that avoidance that we set out on a path for this pattern to repeat again. I want to bet. I want to bet that in previous heartbreaks, there was an avoidance of that pain as well. What's funny about dating is that all the things that, in the different archetypes of relationships, anxious versus avoidant, we embody what they do. And that's why it annoys us so much. That's why it's so triggering. You know what the paradox is, and this is just coming to me. I never even thought about this before. You avoid your pain like an avoidant avoids you. Yeah, you feel it. And I'm not saying that you didn't cry or that you didn't, but like feel it. And you know what's funny about the avoidance is to some of the depth that I think that they feel it, it's almost the cause of why they avoid. You, do you get what I'm saying? How it's kind of like crisscross. You don't let yourself drown in it. And the best word I have for it is drown in it. Let's do something. This is what I was just talking about. And I'm not going to tell you what this does, but just give me a couple minutes. I'm going to use my hypnotic voice on you guys for a second. And I want you to follow me through this. And I'm going to warn you, it's going to be a little painful. But I want you to see what this does. If you could, I want you to close your eyes for me for just a second. More than a few seconds. And I just want you to breathe deeply. I know that you probably don't feel like you have all of your lung capacity because this pain is sitting really heavy. But as much as you can, I want you to fill up your lungs and blow it completely out. Just a couple of these. And as you start breathing deeply, and after you get a couple of them in, I just want you to go breathing back to normal, just trying to keep that same capacity in your lungs where you're filling it up completely and letting it go completely. And in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine that you are floating in the middle of the ocean. And I want you to move that pain that you feel in your chest to your backside, to the parts of your body that are touching the water. Just breathe and float and move that pain. Feel that pain alongside the back of your head, the back of your neck, down your back, into your legs, just right on the back side of your body. I want you to know that the water below you represents not just the pain of this heartbreak that you're experiencing, but all your pain. I don't want you to be afraid of it because it just is. There's nothing you can do to change it. It's always going to be there. We're just acknowledging it together. I'm going to ask you to do something that's going to sound a little scary. I promise you, on the other side of this, you're going to see the purpose. I want you to allow yourself to sink down into that water. Don't worry, you can still breathe. But I want you to allow yourself to sink down into the water that is all the pain that comes from this heartbreak, so many other things. And with every breath, I want you to allow yourself to sink into this pain, going deeper and deeper, lower and lower. And as you do, the deeper you sink, I want you to feel it surround you. It's not going to feel good, but I'm here with you. You're not alone. If you need to cry, let it come. If you need to shake, whatever it is, allow for it to come. They're just feelings. They're not going to break you, I promise you. They're going to cleanse you. I'm going to count down from 10. And when I reach 1, I want you to imagine that you're at the bottom of the ocean of all these feelings that have been swirling around inside of you. I want you to be completely consumed. And when you look up, you're going to see in the distance the air above you, okay? 10, allowing yourself to sink deeper into this. 9, feeling the feelings. 8, not running, allowing for it to consume you. 7, breathing deeply even though it hurts. 6, allowing yourself to drift deeper into it. 5, without resistance. 4, letting go of the need to control. 3, letting go. 2, deeper now. 1, at the bottom of the ocean floor, looking up, feeling all that pain. It might feel like it's crushing you, but I promise you're going to be okay. I want you to feel it. I want you to let it surround you. Don't be afraid. Face it. Cry. Let it out. Let it out. It's okay. Keep breathing. Don't stop. I know it hurts. I know how unfair it is. Let it wash over you. Let it cleanse you. Something weird's going to start to happen here. You're going to notice laying on the bottom of that ocean floor that the water's starting to drain. Cry. Cry. Not just for you right now, but for you at 4 years old. For the teenager you. Let it go. You see it start to drain. It's getting closer. And you're finding that pain that was in there is starting to lessen. Because you're not locking it up inside. You might be thinking, who am I without it? Let's find out. Maybe it's coming out in breaths. Maybe you're shaking. Maybe you're scared out of your mind right now. This is the best thing you could do for yourself. Breathe. And you may notice that the water is getting closer and closer, but the feeling that you feel is becoming lesser and lesser. That pain, you've lived with it for so long. It has consumed you. It's getting closer now. Breathe. Feel it. Don't run. Quit running. Quit running from yourself. You were always worthy. Do you know that? You were always worthy. And it was never your fault. Do you hear me? It was never your fault. Breathe. Because here, in just a few seconds, all that water will be gone. And when I count to 10, you'll be back here with me. 1, feeling the rest of the water drain. 2, letting it go. 3, without the need for control. 4, feeling your breath come back into your body. 5, becoming aware of the sounds in the room. 6, moving your arms and legs. 7, feeling the space around you. 8, Coming back into the room, 9, 10, wide awake, feeling wonderful all over. Do you know what we just did there? We as humans, we're scared of these feelings. We run from them. We rearrange our life and our behaviors to avoid it. We'll stay in a relationship that was never meant for us to avoid it. It's emotional alchemy. Pain was never put there to destroy you. It was put there to alchemize you. And by facing it head on, without fear, that is how you move to another vibration to attract something different. You were put here to be, not to do. You don't get divine love by doing. You don't get divine love by doing. You were already worthy. You were born worthy. There's nothing that you could do in this lifetime that would make you unworthy. You weren't put here to do. You were just put here to be. And anytime those emotions come up, I need you to do that. I need you to sit with it. I need you to let yourself sink down into it. I need you to show up for you as the person, as you showed up for that other person. I need you to stop in avoiding this pain. Because here's what happens. When you sit with it, like really sit with it, here's what happens. You get so pissed off and tired. You stop seeing things from these rose-colored glasses of people pleasing. You stop doing. Because somebody that loves you doesn't need you to do anything for them. They just want to be around your energy. They just want to be around you. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do your little anxious strategic planning. You don't gotta double text. You don't gotta nag. All you have to do is be. Think of the weight that takes off of you to recognize that all you have to do is be. Let me do you one better. Think of the weight it takes off of you to know that you, your soul, planned everything so that you would learn what you needed to learn when you needed to learn it. I think a lot of us even micromanage our spiritual growth. We think, listen, I gotta do this. I gotta go and do this meditation. I gotta read my manifestation cards every morning, my affirmations. I gotta go to this class. Oh, I gotta go to this class. If I'm trying to be holy and spiritual, I gotta do all this stuff. No, ma'am. No, sir. No. You have a very meticulously well thought out plan that you put into place so that you can learn all these things when you're meant to learn them. And all you need to do is show up and be your beautiful self. All you need to do is just show up. That takes quite a bit of weight off. Feel the feelings, baby. Let them cleanse you. Let him baptize you. I say, if there's one thing that I can say that's the core message here is quit running. Quit running from your feelings. They're going to be there. You know, Greg Braden, he talked about fractional time on Gaia. I can't remember the name of his show. He talked about something called fractional time. And what this means is that there's a core trauma that happens, right? So for many of you guys, it's abandonment, right? So this happened probably in childhood where you're abandoned. And the law of correspondence really talks about this as well in a almost mathematical cycle, especially when we don't sit with things and we don't clear things. It's a fun fact. I don't know if you guys know this, but like PTSD is created from trauma because we don't have any validation for it. So like, having something really traumatic happening and then it being kind of brushed under the rug because we didn't address it, it's almost like our soul gets stuck or, our energy gets stuck there. And it is because of the lack of validation and the lack of feeling the feelings that we create trauma and then ultimately these patterns. But back to Greg Braden, basically what it was is that this event happens, and then from it, he actually has a calculator on his website. Look it up, the fractional time calculator. Um, and basically what ends up happening is like this core event happens, and then in a mathematical, right, calculated time, that same issue comes back up again as an opportunity to heal it. So with that being said, let me ask you a question. How many more cycles of this do you want to go through? How many more people do you want to get into relationships that don't see you? How much more people pleasing do you want to do to try to get this love that you want to get? If you want that, if you truly want that, give it to yourself and watch what happens. Show up for yourself and watch what happens. Feel your feelings. Feel this pain. Because here's what does happen. When you actually allow for yourself to feel it, the amount of pain that was caused by this person's actions or inactions, you won't want them anymore. You ever think about that? You ever think that you're closing off part of the amount of pain that you feel? Because if you did, you would want nothing to do with this person. You would be disgusted. I think there's that trend that I could never do that to you. Or, the no revenge cuz. If you let yourself feel this pain, you wouldn't want to be within 10 feet of this person. Especially if there's, more malicious behavior or intentional harm caused. And even if it was just unhealed shit where they couldn't show up because they had their own trauma, if you sat with that pain that was caused, even if unintentional, the act of sitting with yourself in that pain is one of the highest forms of love that you can have. But in being there, it changes something in you. It burns something off. It burns something off. And I can promise you on the other side of it, this wanting to get back with them, this, oh, I'm going to adjust so we can get back together so they'll stay. That shit is out the door. You're not going to want it. Especially if they show up the same. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. Sit with the babies. Listen, thank you so much for joining me. Channeling is absolutely a joy because I had no idea that we were going to go into a little mini hypno session. I hope you guys enjoyed that. You guys can follow me here. Go to my website at www.divineascensionhealing.com. I love you guys. Hey, you're not alone. In fact, there is a lot collectively going through this. We're getting ready to shift back into, some divine feminine reclamation. And part of that is collectively, a lot of people are going through this. We, the earth in general, has pushed down the divine feminine, and she is rising, and it is worse than a phoenix. Let me just tell you that, because without balance, what is there? I am sending you guys so much love and light, and I know that this hurts. I know, babies. But you will move through it, and I promise you, the person on the other side, oh man, the world's been waiting for it. Everything you do matters. Bye, babies.